Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron and this is February 2013 news feed. Now what we've got coming up for this nice news feed is we have got coming up, we've got the competitions, the winner of last month's competition plus this month's competition. We're going to have a bit of a talk about group builds. I've got a nice product review on some matte varnishes, inbox reviews on a F14, as well as some nice sample videos of a step-by-step video build that is coming up and hasn't been released yet, so a nice bit of an exclusive there on what's coming up. But what I want to talk about is the forum. We've had some nice new sections up on the forum, and just to quickly run you through them, basically we've got a nice buy, sell and swap section. This is just a section I put up there for you lot to simply have somewhere where you can swap your models, buy off people, sell. As for the kind of like how you pay and all that kind of stuff, I mean that's all your responsibility, and you know how you want to go about that is all up to you. I mean you arrange all that side of it. I've just given you a little section where you can just say I've got this, who wants to buy it, swap it, whatever. So that's a nice little section for you. There's a bit of a research section on there now, so I mean if anyone wants to go to a model show, an air show, you know, feel free, take some pictures, upload those pictures. There's a nice bit of research for everybody to enjoy, and I do think that a modeler who takes pictures of aircraft kind of gets in there on details like exhaust, wheel wells, landing gear, cockpits and stuff, the kind of stuff that a modeler would like to see up close, to actually then put those details into the kits. So that's like a bit of research, and you don't have to do aircraft. I mean it could be any kind of research from, you know, ships, tanks, sci-fi, anything, just anything to do with research that will help you build your model. Whack it in there now. We've got a group build section that's gone up there, which I'm going to talk about that later, but basically we're going to be starting the F14 Tomcat group build, and the start date of that is the 14th of February to the the 14th of June. Note the 14th. So the next bit as well is we've got an events, well, the video section. Now the video section was all locked out just for subscribing members, because that's where I used to put all the videos for all you subscribing paying members. Because that's all now gone over to our website and it's all more automatic, looking more professional, the video section has changed now to a place for you all to kind of discuss, talk about, get help, make comments on all the videos, as well as kind of get the latest of when they've been uploaded and released. So nice new section there for you all to kind of like have a chat about. Also got like a new events section, so you might want to set up an event where you all meet up at like a model show, air show, you know, those kind of things, or just simply let's meet up and go to the pub or go paintballing, whatever. Just a nice place where you could talk about events that are going on worldwide, really. Also a nice new bargains and sales section. I mean this is a nice section for you all to say help each other out with discounts and sales and stuff by going off and saying, you know, I was buying X kit and I noticed that it was 20% off, 50% off, whatever. Thought you guys might want to see it, and maybe you might want to go buy it, so I've whacked it up in the appropriate section in the new bargains and sales news section, so you can share that kind of news. Boys Town Military Miniatures online store has also got themselves a nice section as well, and this is where Wayne from Boys Town is going to come along and give you exclusive offers, daily offers, weekly offers, weekend offers, discounts, loads and stuff. I mean, I think there's one up there at the moment that is 20% off for specifically for Genesis Models members only. So that's a nice 20% off everything for just for being a member at Genesis Models, which is really great going on there. So nice place to really keep an eye on that little section there, and you never know what kit might come up that you want to get, and you know, it'll be on offer, or some sort of offer or sale or discount will be on it, and that's the whole point of that section there. You can also kind of PM Wayne now at Boys Town Military Miniatures and kind of request pretty much anything you want, and he'll see if he can get it for you, and he might put a sale discount on there, whatever we could possibly do. So that's that there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut away to the matte varnish video, which, if you just give me a second, I've just got that right here. And what we've got this new, well, it's not new, but you know, Winsor & Newton. We're thinking out the box now. Okay, we've got Winsor & Newton matte UV varnish, and we've also got some matte medium. We kind of, as I say, we're thinking out the box. We're not going to like online model shops and stuff to kind of go, I'll use that or whatever. You know, we're kind of thinking out the box. We're looking at all other kind of places where we can get stuff, anything that we could use for the hobby, and I think you'll agree this is some good stuff. So let's crack on with that. So what we're going to do is a nice product review on a different couple of matte varnishes, mediums and all that kind of stuff to give your model that final matte coat. Now what I used to do is I used to use the extra acrylic flat varnish, and the way I used to use this, I used to pour it in neat into my colour cup, and I'd rank up the air pressure as high as I can possibly get it, and you just blast it out all over your model, and it did give a really nice matte finish to the whole model. But because I was like blasting it out at something like 50 psi, you know, the surface could be quite rough. Now I know matte varnishes give you a rough surface, okay, to give you that matte effect, but it was like really rough. So you know, although it did the job good, and I mean the price of this I think is about £3.50 or something from Hanan, so you know, fairly cheap, 100 mils, but it's my job to kind of like look at some of the stuff, and what we've got here is some Winsor & Newton stuff, which is kind of like thinking out the box a bit, and not really going down the modelling kind of side of things, by kind of looking at like artistic Winsor & Newton. But what we've got here, we've got some matte medium and we've got some matte UV varnish. Now I'm bringing in the matte medium because this is actually also good as well, and what I just want to show you is something new, because the finish that these two give are actually really good. Now what I'm going to do is to thin this down. At the moment it looks like you can pretty much use any kind of acrylic base thinners. Which one is it? I have used the Mr. Colour thinners. Okay, this it still thinned it down, but it wasn't so good. It did seem to kind of start kind of blotching up a bit, and getting a little bit on the snotty side if you kind of let it settle for a bit. So I'm going for the extra acrylic thinners here, which does do the job quite nice. And we put a bit of thinners in here, about a 50-50 mix, okay, and we simply pour in a 50-50 mix of our matte varnish from Winsor & Newton. Get a nice old paintbrush, okay, and we make sure we give it a good mix. Right, we want to make sure all this thinners and the matte all nicely mixes together, because we don't want big lumps of matte varnish or anything like that. We want it all nicely mixed. So we've mixed all that up, and what we're going to do is just going to show you, you're plain and simply, pretty much like any kind of paint, we just give it a nice spray like so. Nice even coat, maybe light and misty first, and there we go. We've nicely matted that down pretty quick, and from experience, okay, the flat varnish, as I say, would give you a really rough surface and make it look matte. Whereas what I like about this, about the artistic acrylics, is that it makes it look matte, but you still get quite a nice feeling surface. I mean, it still feels really smooth, to be honest with you. It's almost like it still looks a bit feels a bit glossy, which is what I like, because it just makes it look and feel a lot neater, and makes it look a bit more professional. Okay, so that was the second little coat, and I do think that looks better than when coming along and using what I used to use, which was the acrylic flat varnish, which I used to also teach everybody to like use this stuff. Plus, not only that, as I say, I mean, you did need to blast this out at like 50 psi, and you did need a decent compressor to be able to actually come along and keep a constant like 50 plus psi to blast this out, because it is quite on the thick side, and to get that good matte finish you've got to really blast it out with a psi. So I don't use this anymore because you know, as I say, I don't like it now. Coming to some other aspects of this now. The price from the Winsor & Newton website, and I know you can get stuff cheaper elsewhere if you don't go to the Winsor & Newton website. It's £7 for 125ml worth of our matte UV varnish, compared to the £3.50ish for your extra acrylics flat varnish, and you get 100ml with that, which in some ways we can kind of contemplate the fact that you mix it, you thin it down 50-50, so 125ml kind of turns into 250ml, but then you do also have to pay for the thinners, so it does kind of, although it sounds like you know, this is double the price to your extra acrylic, as I say, you know, you actually thin this down. Another kind of thing about this is it also says there's like a UV protection inside this matte varnish, which in all honesty I haven't got a clue, you know, exactly what the ingredients are or anything like that. It just says on the tin that it gives you some UV protection, so if you've got your model sitting in the sun, I'm kind of going to assume that this is going to stop your model from yellowing up from UV sunlight more than extra acrylics flat varnish. So that's kind of like a nice bonus that goes with this. And a little quick chat, I mean, I think it's in one of my step-by-step video builds, but you know, I use this matte varnish, you know, and it's basically the same as, you know, the matte UV varnish. This matte medium, I know it's a medium, but you can actually thin it down, same thing, you know, 50-50 mix, spray it just the same as this matte varnish, and you do get pretty much the same finish. The only difference I've really noticed between these two is the matte UV varnish is a little tacky after spraying it on, so I would recommend you actually give it, you know, a bit of time to dry, whereas I mean normally matte varnishes and mediums, I mean you spray it on and you know it's virtually all nicely, almost you can pretty much handle it, you know, pretty much straight away after spraying, but that's the only real difference. This matte medium, I think, you know, it's a bit more cheaper, because we're talking 250ml here, and I think that's about £11 a bottle. Mixing it down 50-50, you know, I mean, it does go a long way. So hopefully that was a nice kind of look at something a bit different for spraying on matte coats, and hopefully you'll like the fact that I do think this comes out to work a lot better, maybe a bit more expensive, but it does seem to do a better job, and I do like the idea of a bit of a bonus UV protection. So hopefully you've enjoyed that and that's been beneficial for you. I hope you liked that little product review there of Winsor & Newton's matte UV varnish. Hopefully it'll kind of get you thinking out of the box that you don't have to buy products specifically for modelling. You know, and even this, I mean, matte medium, it's a matte medium, you know, you're not supposed to be really kind of using it as a matte coat, but you can. And just moving along, you know, what has been built for January, you know, what have I actually done? Well, the Spitfire build is now up to episode 3, and all those 3 episodes are up there. Episode 1 was a sample video for you all to watch free of charge, but that's up to episode 3, and that's been released every Friday, once a week. And I've finally managed to get around to getting the Messerschmitt BF 109 finally edited and got episode 1, you know, uploaded there, and that's going to be released every fortnight on a Friday until that's released. And that's a rapid video build, so there's only I think there's about 4 or 5 videos to that, so you know, it's a nice quick rapid, you know, get to the interesting points kind of video. Also did the E2C Hawkeye by Atelier 1/48 scale. You know, that was just one of these kits that kind of fought me all the way. It's not a bad kit, it was just I had some kind of bad luck with kind of building it, which is, you know, partly my own fault, but I mean, in the end, you know, that turned out a really nice kit. A kind of a note on that kit, I mean, it's a tail sitter. It's a tail sitter because the instructions say put 50-gram weight in the nose section, but that's if you've got the wings extended. If you fold the wings, you need to put more weight in the nose section, okay, which it doesn't tell you to do in the instructions. So just a quick note there for you guys there. That's going to have an inbox review video and a conclusion video thrown up soon, and I'm also just still in the process of building our Revell 1/48 scale FA18F Super Hornet, and this is looking really good. It's all nicely sealed in, ready for deckling tomorrow. I've done an inbox review of this video, and I'm going to do a conclusion video to this as well, so you know, we've got all those videos going up there as well. And that's basically what's happened this month. But what I'm going to do now is, because next month I'm going to be starting, well, it's this month now, February. This February, I'm going to be starting a new step-by-step video build to go alongside our F14 Tomcat group build. So here's a quick little sample of something from the F14D Super Tomcat 1/48 scale Hobby Boss step-by-step video build. Gone round, done a load of gluing and got all this stuff in. The cockpit is actually looking really nice for an out-of-the-box cockpit. I have got all these really hard, really nasty bits of photo etch on our little radar bit here. Very tricky, very hard. Ended up using tweezers in the end, but I managed to finally get them on, and hopefully when that's sprayed up it'll look good. I do like our front wheel well here, because it was like so many parts, instead of being one block part that you get with most kits, it's ended up being a lot more detailed, because each wall has been its own separate piece. And hopefully if I bring you in, you can see that actually we've got loads and bags of actual detail going on in there, because it's all been done separately. So a little bit more effort for the manufacturers and for us building together, but a lot better detail going on there. Just thought I'd show you that because it is quite good. Right, got some photo etch seat belts that you get with this kit. So what I want to do, I just want to get some Tamiya masking tape, okay, like so. Bit of super glue, bit of Zappa Gap. Right, pour a bit down. Make sure you don't put the lid back on with super glue on the end, because it'll just ruin the top. So here comes the tricky part, is with seat belts, because they're so fiddly, I like to use super glue to make sure they stay down, but when using super glue on photo etch it can be a bit of a pain. So you do need to try and just make a film of super glue when you, because what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to spread
this on our photo etch and very quickly put it down on our model and try and hold it in place. Okay, really quickly, like so, because if we get like a blob of super glue on the end of our bit of photo etch bit here, right, it's just going to blob out and it's going to look all nasty. So we just want a quick film, right, so maybe dip it in the super glue a bit and then maybe quickly wipe it off somewhere on the side. See, if you only do a bit of a film, you know, it can end up drying before you've managed to put it down. Okay, so you just need to be really quick. Give that a blow, and there we go, we got that into place. So, moving along, okay, let's bend them down a little bit. Just easier to bend them while we was putting it on. We're going to a strap here, right, and what we're going to do is we're just going to dip this in the same thing, you know, we want a quick dip, quick wipe, and then try and quickly glue it into place on the model. Again, you know, because you're making a quick film, it just dries so quickly and you can't get it to glue, but you don't want blobs. So it may take a few attempts, might take a bit of getting used to, maybe a little bit just here, just to make sure we're in, nicely glued in. Okay, what I like to do is on a cocktail stick, is just underneath, try and smear the seat belt, and then turn the cocktail stick round and just hold it into place, right? And the trick is you just want to you know, you just think big blob of super glue and it's gonna go everywhere and look a mess. Okay, nice light smears of super glue and quickly put it on before it dries. Now in this case, this little bit here, which I could probably bring you in, we could actually get a blob of super glue, right, and we can just blob, maybe a bit more blob, okay, and we can just have a little blob there and we can get that to nicely glue into place real nice and hard, right? And we can do that because you're never going to see this, you know, once this is in place, actually, you know, in the cockpit, right, you're just never going to see it, right? So, you know, so what if we've got a bit of a blob of super glue there? No big deal, it's never going to be seen. So we could do then the same for the other side. Nice little blob of super glue, and we can nicely and easily blob it down here. Let that dry. Again, we've got our little strap here to add. Again, on our tweezers. Right, this time, nice film of super glue. We don't want blobs of it. And nicely put that in place. Come along with your cocktail stick. Find out which end you're using super glue, right? Get a bit of super glue on the end, not a big blob, and we just want to lightly underneath put a film of super glue. Okay, and because it's just a film, we want to quickly glue it down. Quick blow, and that's all down, right? Again, same again for these last two straps. Bit of film underneath with the super glue, turn the cocktail stick around and then push it down, and hopefully you've got enough of super glue, which I haven't on this one. So we want to lift that back up, okay, and then we want to get a bit of super glue, get it on there, make sure it's just a film and it's not a big blob, and then push that down like so. We don't want blobs. Now I've accidentally put super glue on both ends of that, so I'm going to get another cocktail stick and I'm going to, again, bit of super glue, and smear it on, nice thin, kind of a bit like a filter kind of thing, you know. It's not like a wash you want to whack it on there, it's like a filter. It's just a nice smear, even film of super glue, no blobs, no mess, and then you quickly put it down before it dries so that it just kind of has enough super glue to stay in place. Nice bit of photo etch there, just showing you some basic photo etching. The photo etch that you get with that kit it's not exactly your Eduard photo etch where it's you know, really mega detailed. It's, shall we say, it's just nice. It's a lot better than your stock kind of out of the box kind of normal sort of ejector seat, so it's a nice enhancement. It's just not your Eduard kind of level, shall we say, but that's hopefully a nice little taster of the step-by-step video build that's coming your way, which is going to be of this kit. This is the one that I'm actually doing, the F14D Super Tomcat by Hobby Boss, 1/48 scale, and you know, it's all nice and new, just came out, only been out a couple of months, and it's really a big contender for knocking Hasegawa's F14 Tomcat as off the top as being the best, because this is what everyone was saying is the best kit you can get for an F14 Tomcat, and now along comes Hobby Boss with a new F14, and this does look like it is better value for money, more for your money, the whole works. But I'm going to do a inbox review on that later for you. So the group build. Now, the group build that is going to be coming up this month is going to be Genesis Models' first group build. There's a whole section on the forum for that now, for you to kind of show your interest, discuss on that and all that stuff. But just to quickly go over, what is a group build? A group build is where a bunch of modelers come together and go, let's pick a focus area, and in this case we're picking the F14 Tomcat, and you come together and you just build an F14 Tomcat, and because you're all building the same thing, you can all kind of have the same interest, you can see what each other's doing and help each other out, and you know, it's just that whole kind of like doing it together, rather than sitting at home, build an F14, show your wife and she goes, yes love, that's nice, and you know, that's all you kind of get out of it. At least being online with a load of other people, you can all kind of get together and kind of give the nice comments and help each other out and everything. So that's basically what a group build is. So just to kind of, let's go over the rules of this group build. Now, the group build is going to start the 14th of February. That's this month, the 14th. It's going to end on the 14th of June. So you've got 4 months there to build an F14 Tomcat. Okay. Now the rules are basically you can build any Tomcat in any configuration for the build. You can pick any scale that you want. You can use aftermarket parts. You can use any decals you want. But the only thing is, I mean, we do have to kind of show that, you know, you are actually building this in the time frame, and it's not an F14 you built 5 years ago, and you know, you can't just come along and take some final reveals of that and you entered in the competition, well, the group build and the competition. So what we need you to do is to make some photos. We need one photo of the box art, and at least one photo of the parts in the box. You can, if you want, take separate pictures of each sprue individually to kind of probably help people see what you get in these kits. But again, one picture of, say, aftermarket parts, of, say, decals, and that's kind of like basically the minimum. And what you want to do, you want to go to the F14 Tomcat group build section, and there make your own thread for you to put these starting pictures to kind of basically get you entered into this group build and the competition prize. And once you've done that, you can then start building and uploading the photos of the build stage as it goes along. But remember, you can't start till the 14th of February. Also, there needs to be a minimum photos of the build as well. So
you know, as I say, we don't want people coming along and having an already built Tomcat and then putting the final reveals up. You need to put at least a minimum of one photo of the build stage, so it's all kind of built or something. Take one photo there, a photo of it in the spray stage, a photo of it in the decal stage, and a photo of it in the kind of like the final weathering stage. So if you can kind of like do those minimum kind of pictures, that should be great. And that is pretty much the general gist of the whole kind of rules. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving out a prize for that competition as well, which is going to be F14 Tomcat, F14B Tomcat by Hobby Boss, 1/48 scale, and it is a cracker of a kit. As I say, I do think it's better than the Hasegawa kit. It retails at about £50 as well, which just to kind of note that at this moment in time, which is the 31st of January, Boys Town Military Miniatures does actually have this as a 20% off sale kind of thing going on. So what was £50 is actually £40 now at Boys Town Military Miniatures, and I think he's got 2 of these left, so you might want to get in there and get that while the offer is still on. So that's going to be the competition prize, but that's not going to be the only prize. The thing is, I haven't had the time to kind of look at prizes, put research in and all this kind of stuff. Cut a long story short, I want to go off and I want to add more prizes to this competition, maybe like individual prizes. So next month I'll kind of announce what other prizes are going to actually go into this group build as well. So sorry I couldn't kind of get that all sorted and show you that, but the whole kind of judging of this group build. Now what I'm going to do is I do want to judge it as fairly as possible. I don't want to go off and kind of go say for example I want to judge it in a way that I'm judging on the quality of the modeler's capability as a modeler, not by how much money he can throw into the kit. So for example, somebody goes off and, you know, pays for an say a Hasegawa kit, whacks a load of resin in there, whacks a load of photo etch in there, and all the decals and all the trimmings, you know, and already he's kind of got like a head start on everyone else because he spent so much money. I don't want to judge on how much you can spend. And I'm going to try and kind of be lenient with those who do out of the box builds, who don't buy any aftermarket parts. You know, I just want to try and judge on the ability of the modeler. So hopefully it kind of makes things fair. Provenance, our new admin as well, he will kind of help me with the judging on that as well. So to kind of finish up, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a nice in-box review of the actual F14D Super Tomcat that I did for the step-by-step video build. So I'm going to get onto that now, but I couldn't quite squeeze it all into this news feed, so we haven't got the full 20-minute inbox review. But if you want to see the full 20-minute inbox review, just go well, just wait till the 14th when we release episode 1, and you can see the whole inbox review. You can see, you know, the first episode with all the start of that step-by-step video build. Right, here we have our inbox review of the F14D Super Tomcat by Hobby Boss, and it's in 1/48 scale. This is a whole new tool and everything, nice new kit, really excited about this. So let's get the stuff out of the box and let's have a look what we've got in here. Now, instructions, I mean, I've had a quick flick through them and they do look as though you can, you know, understand what's going on. There is loads of options here for like certain doors and panels and stuff open where you can show off you know, the what's that, the M61A1 Gatling system. You know, you can show off all that. Flaps, slats, you know, up and down. You know, you've got this engine area as well where you've got all that on show. You know, the instructions, they do get you there. They look pretty good, and it looks like there's lots of options to have things in different places, up, down, open, close and all that stuff.
But hopefully, you know, after building this, they should get you there nicely. Going through it, we've got a decal sheet here, which is all nice and glossy and all nicely in colour, and it's basically telling you where all your decals go. And I think we've got two options here. We've got an F14D, which is the VF101, and what was it? This side is the F14D, the VF213. Okay, so those are the two markings you get. You might want to go out and buy some different markings if you want to, but we've also got all our colours down here, which is actually quite nice, because they do actually say like the Mr. Hobby range, Vallejo, Model Master, Tamiya, Humbrol. You know, you really do get told, you know, what paints you can use from different manufacturers, which is a good thing there. Little advertisement sheet, we won't bother with that. So starting with the first sprue that comes on top, just cut this open here and slide this out. Right, now looking at this, everything looks really nice and crisp. Not seeing an inkling of flash, nasty ejector pin marks anywhere on this. And if I bring you in, we've just got some really nice crisp, got some really nice crisp rivets, recessed panel lines going on there. They are going to look really nice. And you know, you just cannot fault that. And you've got all these options for like your slats and your flaps and everything to be raised up and down, which livens it up all and everything. So that's a nice bit there. Got lots of bags of sprues, so you know, I'm going to try and speed this up if I can. Let's bring you out. Sorry, there we go. Right, then next bag, I mean, we've got all our, this is like our nose section and what looks like all our air intakes. Got a few ejector pin marks inside the air intakes, which, okay, you might want to sand them out, but they're not that bad actually. We've got our where our Gatling system goes in here. You know, we can close that up with all the doors, or we can have them open or anything, but you could do you could probably doing a bit more scratch building in there just to liven that up if you want to have it open. I'm personally going to close it up, but you know, that looks all good there as well. And hold on one second, I need to find a space to put the sprues. Right then, carrying on, we've got another set of sprues here. These are all your tails and everything, and again, I mean, the quality of the plastic is looking really nice and smooth, and the rivets and the recessed panel lines just look second to none. They really do look very impressive, and the ejector pin marks aren't really being a problem. They're all nicely in places where you want them to be, but not in places where you don't want them to be. On our gear bay, landing gear bay doors here, I mean, I'm seeing two ejector pin marks on both of these gear bay doors here. They are quite faint, you might be able to get away with them, but I mean, you're probably going to have to fill them and sand them if that's something that really kind of you don't like. But I would say you could probably get away with them because they're quite faint. Again, you know, really nice recessed panel line and riveting details. Really good with this. Here we've just got a bunch of pylons and everything, which I don't want to keep boring you by getting them all out, but we've got some fuel tanks here as well. And again, you know, everything's looking really nice, really crisp, and really top notch, which is really going to give Hasegawa a big run for their money now. Now we've got this two sprues here, which looks like this is where all our little bits are going, and what this bit of packaging is here, I don't know yet, so I'm just going to open that up and see what's actually in here. and I think that was just for the what looks like that goes inside your canopy section. So I think that was just to kind of like pad things out for everything else in the box. Looking on here at all the little bits of details, I think we've got stuff like certain buttons and instrument panels that goes into the cockpit section. But everything looks well detailed, and as I say, there's just no flash, which is kind of showing that, you know, this is a really nice new brand new kit, and the detail is just lovely on this kit, and I do really like how new it feels as well. Moving along with this one, we've got some landing gear sections here, which does look nice and crisp again, looking really good. Looking at what looks like our wheel well walls that we're going to have to probably put together. Looks really nice. Looks like you've got some nice wires and everything in there, and that's probably the front landing gear part, which we're gonna have to, yeah, we are going to be building our wheel well, our landing gear wheel wells. It looks like we're going to be building all together inside and everything, which does look kind of good, because you've got to build it all in different sections. It's like they've been able to put quite a bit of detail in the different sections to bring it together to really make some nice wheel wells, so that's good. Apart from that, that looks all real nice there. Moving along, in this bag here we've got our whole engine section. I'm going to try and speed things up, so I'm not going to get this one out, but we've got this massive engine section where you literally build all your engine, and pretty much, you know, these two sprues here literally are building just your engines, your exhaust, which is pretty a nice bonus. I mean, we're probably most likely gonna, pretty much everyone's gonna basically just, you know, end up kind of, it's going to go in the model, and you're not going to see, you know, all this inside engine detail, so you're probably going to really skip all this kind of stuff, and really it's just, you know, concentrate on the ends of the exhaust, which is what you want showing. But all this nice detail, it's good if you want to do some scratch building and actually get in there and maybe open it all up, open up the panels and stuff. Moving along, we've got another bag here, which is another set of pylons, and I think this here is like a sensor, which I forgot which one it was, but we've got that as well, you know. And again, everything is really nice. Ejector pin marks in the right place, no flash, recessed panel lines, rivets and everything, all really nice. Now we've got another bag here which is like full of weapons, and I want to talk about that later, okay, because that is a big pet hate for me there. Now what we've also got is we get in the box another box, which is really cool. F14D Super Tomcat, an actual another box, which is really cool, and it's a nice box. It's not just some box they've thrown together, just a plain box. I mean, they give you a nice box, and what we've got in here, plain and simply, is our two main pieces for our fuselage section, which is really quite nice packaging, if you ask me, just for like these two main pieces. And let's have a look inside and see how good they are, and let's bring you right in on these as well. Right, and as you can hopefully see, if I maneuver this, the detail on here is really nice, really crisp. The recessed panel lines look in scale. We've got no flash, nice riveting. You know, this really is, you know, a nice kit so far. And I'll just get the other one out the bag just to show you that as well. Again, you know, nice detail going on with all of this kit, which is really nice. Okay, so really trying to speed up, but there is a lot in this kit. Again, you know, we've got another box, a really nice presented box with some more goodies inside, which really is kind of showing you the quality that we're getting with this. What we've got in here is we've got our air intakes. By the looks of it, I'll just open one of them up just so we can have a look, see what's special about these in their separate packaging. Yeah, I mean, they look really nice. It looks like somebody has like cut them off of sprue for us, which I mean, they look like they've cut them off the sprue for us quite nicely, but I'd have preferred to have cut them off myself. And actually, I mean, looking at this, there is this kind of like a join line just going all the way along here, which you know, is something you're gonna have to sand out. This is probably the only imperfection I've probably found on this kit, is this actual air intake section here. This is going to need a bit of a sand because there's like a join line going on somewhere there, and it seems to be going on here as well. I mean, it almost looks like it could have been a recessed panel line, but it's almost like a join line as well. So some sort of moulding thing going on there, so you want to kind of like sand that out and smooth that out, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've got two of them, obviously. Moving through, we've got the cockpit section, right, which, you know, well, let's get you in on this as well. We want to get close in and have a good look at this. Now, looking at the detail in here, I mean, it does look quite nice. I mean, you know, it's not your resin going on here, but I mean, it's pretty damn good for shall we say styrene plastic. And moving along, we can have a look at our instrument display panel. Shall we say it's okay on detail. Looking at that, I mean, it could have been a bit better. I hope you enjoyed that kit, because I have really got excited about this kit. I am actually really enjoying building it, and I really do think it has knocked the Hasegawa F14 off the top as the best F14 Tomcat you can get. And really, I mean, to kind of sum that up, I mean, the kits do look quite good, both of them, both Hasegawa and the Hobby Boss, but I think where the Hobby Boss wins hands down is, I mean, one, they're a lot cheaper and you get weapons, you know. I mean, it is just so annoying to have to go off and do this, right, to go off and spend, I mean, what these were like £16, both for these boxes, just so I can get some Phoenix missiles, Sparrows, and some Sidewinders to actually put on the kit. I mean, stupid, you know. There's about £32 or something, as well as I think this retails at Hanat's at £65 or something. So, you know, you're kind of going stupid money really for the kind of kit, to be honest. But anyway, what is coming up for February? What's going to be built? Well, for starters, I am going to be finishing off our DFA 18, as I kind of did say. Nice conclusion video I'm going to do for that. We're going to move along, and I'm going to do the HE111 H22 again, in box review, final conclusion video. Nice kind of old kit, you know. Some people might not like doing old kits, but I do kind of like how, you know, you can bring an old kit and sort of, you know, get those problem areas filled in, sanded, scribed, really tackle and really kind of brush up on all your filling, sanding, scribing skills. And as I have mentioned, I'm going to be also building the F14A Tomcat Hasegawa 1/48 scale. I think I've got some, actually I've got a load of stuff for this. I've got resin cockpit, exhaust, aftermarket decals, wheel wells, you know, the works for this one. And this is where I can build this one and the Hobby Boss, so I can really kind of tell you guys, you know, which one really is the best. As much as I am kind of just saying the Hobby Boss just looks the best, if you ask me. So that's coming up with, as I say, you know, we've got all the weapons going on here as well. I'm also going to be working through, as you know, wrong one, sorry, the F14D Super Tomcat. I'm going to be working through this one, releasing these step-by-step video builds, as I say, on the 14th, and every fortnight after that I'll release an episode. When the Spitfire step-by-step video build has all been released. This will then be released weekly, okay, just to let you know that. And we release these episodes every Friday at around about 3-4 o'clock ish. No guarantees, but it's a Friday definitely. The time is a bit, you know, around about there, shall we say. What I'm also going to be looking at building this month as well is the Verlinden Productions 1 in 48 scale US Navy carrier deck crew. Kind of nice to actually go off and do some miniatures, because it's kind of like a bit of a different art form, a different ball game. You know, we're using paint brushes and painting, you know, and rather than using the airbrush. And I really do want to try and get this out as a step-by-step video build, because I think it's one of these things that if you can watch this step by step, learn how to do miniatures professionally, it's something that you can do for all of your kits whenever you want to do maybe diorama, put crew inside your your aircrafts and all that kind of stuff, and even tanks, whatever, you know, miniatures, you can pretty much get them anywhere. Put them anywhere. Right, so coming to the competition, right then, it is somewhere down here. Okay, the competition last January, was our Eurofighter Typhoon single-seater. Now, and it's 1 in 48 scale by Revell. This was the competition, and I'm happy to announce that I did the draw today and closed the thread, and the winner is Worth 1974. So congratulations for you for winning 1 in 48 scale Eurofighter Typhoon. I will put that in the post for you free of charge. I'll have to email you first and get your mailing address, but that will be sent out to you free of charge. So congratulations there. And now we come to the February competition, which again, you know, the same routine. I'll set up a competition thread for February 2013. And all you got to do, free members and paying members, you can go in there, make a post, I'm in, or something like that to that effect, and you're automatically entered in the competition, you know, and everything's paid for, postage and packaging, the works. I mean, all you got to do is just be a member and just make a post, and write anything you want in the post. And here's our competition for February 2013. It's the F-14A Tomcat 1 in 48 scale by Hobby Boss. So as you can see, I've gone off and I've brought the A, B and D of the Hobby Boss, this whole new tool and everything, you know, great cracking smashing kit, and this is going to be this month's competition for you guys to get for free. And this actual kit was donated by Wayne down at BoystownMilitaryMiniatures.com, all nicely for you guys to have as a nice free giveaway. So thanks for Boys Town Military Miniatures for providing us with this kit to give away. And as I've said, just get down in the post, and all you got to do is just post I'm in or something to that effect. And you've only got to be a member. You can be a free member, you can be a paying subscriber member, you just need to be a member on the forum, which remember is free. Really appreciate that from Boys Town Military Miniatures, and I hope this is going to kind of get some interest, because I mean, if you can win this kit, you could actually go off and enter the group build as well, because although the group build starts the 14th of February, what you've got to remember is you've got 4 months. You don't have to actually start on the 14th. You can start with like 1 month left, you know, start in April, May, whenever you want. You know, at the end of the day, it's how much time you've got to actually build it and get it finished for the 14th of June. So good chance for you to win this and enter the group build with this one as well, if you want to enter the group build with this one. And now, because I've got all 3, I just want to quickly whack in a note here that basically these kits, these 3, the A, B and the D by Hobby Boss, you know,
they are basically, they are the same. You know, there are just those nice little differences that make an A, a B, and a D a D. The only kind of big note really is that with the B version and the D version, you get like this nice little weapon, 2 sprues which have the ground attack weapons. You don't get it with the A version, but then the A version, what's it doing with ground attack weapons on it anyway? So not a big deal. And it was nice to kind of see all 3 of them and kind of compare a few little differences with them. So apart from that, I hope you get down into the group build for our F14 Tomcat. I hope you're going to get in there and get yourself in the competition for our F14A Tomcat. But apart from that, until next time, my name's Bobby Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.